Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Light up, let the good vibes flow. It's Gorilla Cigar Lounge, the place to go. Politics, nerds, and the good old days. Grab your drink, join the talk, let's set it ablaze. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. Starships and memories, debates get real. We're saving the world with a mic and some seal. Laughs and wisdom, we're bringing the heat. So pull up a chair, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. Starships and memories, debates get real. We're saving the world with a mic and some seal. Laughs and wisdom, we're bringing the heat. So pull up the chair, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. So spark up that stove, let's start the show. At Gorilla Cigar Lounge, let the conversation flow.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Son of a bitch, I was muted, but at least I caught it before Saltier Life with Matthew does. But anyhow, I woke up this morning and what I do is I put on some background noise when I first wake up, get going and all that. And I wake up, the first thing I see, the United States has sent Delta Force in to Venezuela, and they have captured Nicolás Maduro there, the dictator there, and half of South America right now is celebrating this, the capturing of Nicolás Maduro. Oh, and Trump is live. Shoot. I'm gonna backtrack this just a little bit. All right, so we're just gonna share. We're gonna share my other screen real quick here. And sorry, the quality might be bad. I'm using my old computer.
And many others.
There's a picture
President
of him.
Trump and
He's
other
held
members
on the U.S.
Trump administration have repeatedly called the narco-terrorism as one of the reasons for strikes off coast of Venezuela on several boats, saying that
I'm only a couple minutes behind here.
No aircraft, everything came back. We got it all.
We've done some other early today.
There.
He was in a very highly guarded fortress, actually. He was in a fortress.
Yeah,
that we had nobody killed was amazing. I think we had nobody killed, I have to say, because a couple of guys were hit. but they came back and they're supposed to be in pretty good shape. But that we had nobody killed, that we lost no aircraft. You know, everything came back. We got it all back. One of them was hit pretty hard, but a helicopter, but we got it back. But just time to do it. We had to do it because it's a.
Here comes President Trump.
Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff. And we appreciate you being here.
Oh, I suppose I should put the.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolás Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, or different days, we're a respected country like never before. These highly trained warriors, operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement, caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position, but they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats, we've got 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a proper and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. Decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This is pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal. They're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago, a little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average, two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. Are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down 7%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana. And we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing. And we've on for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fire. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed as well. And terrorist organization, really one of the worst. One of the worst, they say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari, what happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country, considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries, and not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines, and the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to national security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect.
What?
The American armada remains
Right here.
poised in position.
Here.
The United States retains all options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist, Maduro, is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much Raising Cane. He's fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him. And I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you explain how the U.S. will run Venezuela?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raising Cane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America. And again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolás Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our Chairman Raising Cane, to give a few more details about the operation. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. Last night, on the order of the President of the United States and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolás and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hour second, and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that frankly only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation. We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists. And we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA. We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years. Many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise, it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise, and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel, so as the president said, they could be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through. Ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings. But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern time last night, the president ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire joint force. Over the course of the night, began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49. And there's simply no match for American military. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit, but remained flyable, and as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extractions while firing coverage and subsequent fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication and unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolás Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we say $50 million. And
make sure.
yeah, exactly. But
Don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolás Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have to going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil. He's going to country is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope people now understand is we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to this is a president of action. Like, I understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And if people understand that just doesn't press and, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Mr. President, you said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Mr. President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it, but we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right, run very judiciously, very fairly. It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse people that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. They stole our oil. We built that whole industry there, and they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So we did something about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, can you explain the exact mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you designating U.S. officials to coordinate?
Yes, it's all being done right now. We're designating people. We're talking to people, various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
That would run Venezuela.
Well, it's going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me, we're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead. I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And it required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of bad people that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
Rubio would be.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship going?
I understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela again. Very simple.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what your message is about
he has
that.
cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine and sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved.
Sure. We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice, and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
Plus, if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, We had a lot of ships out there. They sort of knew we were coming. We went there. But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
President, you were one of the only people to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the U.S. forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the U.S. was considering if Maduro pushed back or resisted killing Maduro?
It could have happened. It could have happened. He was trying to get into a safe place. The safe place is all steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast. And there was a lot of opposition. People were wondering, do we get them by surprise? Sort of surprised, but they were waiting for something. There was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place, which wasn't safe because we would have had the door blown up in about 47 seconds, they say on average, regardless of how thick the steel was. It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but he was unable to get to that door. He made it to the door. He was unable to close it. Go ahead, finish.
Where is Maduro going to be in the time being right now? Do you know his exact
Well,
whereabouts?
eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to.
Where is he going to be held in New York? Do you know?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these things.
Mr. President, the U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards.
Not with
Did
me,
that weigh on your decision?
Well, that's why we had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. We have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So With me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
President, can you? How long do you expect the U.S. to run Venezuela, and how soon do you want Venezuelan people to hold elections?
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes a period of time. You know, we're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure. The infrastructure is rotted. It's actually very dangerous. It's blow up territory. Oil is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing to take out of the ground. Can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that. The infrastructure is old. It's rotted. Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot of money out so that we can take care of the country. Yeah.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when it comes to the oil
China
and drugs?
And Russia, things straighten out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now. But I would say many more will come.
Are you saying, Mr. President, are you saying that, Mr. President, are you saying that?
Mr. President, thank you. What is your message to the people of Venezuela today? Of course, the civilian population specifically, they have a lot of questions. People.
You're going to have justice. You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from you. But you're going to have peace and you're going to have safety. You're going to have justice. You're going to have a country. You're going to have a real country. You're going to have potentially a great country. You know, if you go back 20 years, maybe even a little longer ago, that was a great country. And they destroyed it. Remember, I said that if we lose this election, the United States will be Venezuela on steroids. That's what would have happened. Had we lost the election, the 2024 election, so badly, when you look at the border from 2020, what they did, what Joe Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. But if we had to go through another year of that, we would be exactly where Venezuela was in terms. I used to say, if they win, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids. And that's what would have happened.
President, thank you. Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela? And will you be sending in U.S. military
They're
troops
going to
to
be a
provide?
team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Just leave. Who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over. You have a vice president who's been appointed by Maduro. And right now she's the vice president and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn as president just a little while ago. She had a long conversation with Marco and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she didn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly, professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world going and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough. We'll get out of Venezuela, United States, and frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back. Yeah.
Done to protect Americans in the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Well, right now they're
arrested
very
about
protected because nobody's going to mess with us. They're very protected. The people of, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
Are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
We know who they are. We're on them, and they're acting much differently now than they would have acted 2 days ago. Okay, wait, behind you, please.
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it. Yes, sir. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, is your message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba is not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good one for Cuba. The people there have suffered for many, many years. And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up, because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. And we want to help the people of, it's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people of Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, you know, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, you know, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, you know, they were, you know, all of the guards that helped protect Maduro, this is well known, the whole spy agency, all that full. It's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems that Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit. Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned, it's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
Mr. President.
The answer is yes. Yes.
Aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President, Mr. President, on Monday.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
Mr. President, is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years? You know,
well, you know, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We will. Well, we want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world. That's what was happening. And you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding, and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we've taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night. We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries. And we also have to have energy. Very important. We have to have energy that's real energy, not where they're getting 4% and 5% of the energy out of the ground. You take a look, it was such a disaster. So what's going to happen with Venezuela, I think, over the next period of a year is going to be a great thing. And the people of Venezuela will be the biggest beneficiaries.
Mr. President,
U.S. military speak to Maduro about when you spoke, and is the
Well, I
US
don't want to
at
get
war
into
with
the
Venezuela?
conversations, but I did have conversations with him, and I said, you got to surrender. And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wished he did, yeah.
You said that Maduro is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was convicted of many drug trafficking. Can you explain how these two situations are different? And would you ever pardon Maduro?
I endorsed, as you know, the winning president, the man who won in Honduras. I endorsed the man who won in Chile. I endorsed the man who won in Argentina. And we are doing very well with that whole group. What the man that I pardoned was, if you could equate it to us, he was treated like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't work out too well for them. This was a man who was persecuted very unfairly. He was the head of the country. He was persecuted very unfairly. And there are a number of them. And we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won. So obviously the people liked what I did. And one of the reasons that was done is because of the fact that the party in power felt very strongly that that man was treated very badly. I studied it very quickly, and then I studied it in great detail. I went to a lot of the people standing behind me, and they felt that that man was persecuted and treated very badly. That's why I gave him a pardon.
You referenced boots on the ground earlier. Can you just sort of button this up? Do you envision the U.S. military having a presence in Venezuela as the U.S. runs that country?
No, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have, we're sending in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. That is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank you all very much. Thank you. Do you have one? Yes, please. You were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr.
Unless it's a
President.
bad question, in
It's
which
about
case I'll
Putin.
go one word. It's about who?
It's about Putin. If you want
About Putin. Well, that's
Okay.
always nice
You had
to
a
talk
phone.
about Putin.
You had a phone call with him
Yeah.
on Monday. Did he talk at all about Maduro? Did y'all talk about this?
No, we didn't.
And
We
then,
never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this
I'm not
intelligence.
thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
There was that
I
intelligence.
thought that would be so. I settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself 1/4, so I'm up to now 8 1/4. In other words, I settled the war, but then they broke out. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got them to go back to peace, so I only give 1/4. I thought the easiest one would be Russia, Ukraine. It's not. And they both have done some pretty bad things. And that's Biden's war. That's not my war. But I want to stop the lives. Did you see where last month, 30,000, it was 27,000 the month before. 30,000, mostly soldiers, were killed this last month. 30,000. I want to stop that. You know, I got NATO to pay 5% instead of the 2% that they weren't paying. They weren't paying 2, now they pay 5. And we send them a lot of munitions. We send them a lot of things, missiles and various other things, a lot. And they pay. The United States is losing money. We're probably making money on that. It's the last thing I care about. I just want to stop all those people. We're losing 25, 30,000 human beings. They come from 2 places that are very far away. But if I can stop, because it's something I've been pretty good at doing, deals, I guess. It's all a deal. Life is a big deal. But if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, in addition to the fact that people are being killed in Kiev, people are being killed in the city, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress, but that's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would have never happened. But I inherited that war. It was Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. I came into the situation, and it's a mess. And I will say this. I watched an operation last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant. I mean, it was incredible. If we had our people, like this general and our people involved, that war would not have gone on very long, that I can tell you. That war, to use an old term, that war has become a bloodbath, and we want it to get stopped. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Can you talk about your conversation with the Vice President?
And there's our press conference there. Bit of news to wake up to. Wasn't surprising and all that, but before we go on, let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat. There's a lot of people popped in. And hey, Pickles, how's it going? Get on up here. And Trumpolian is betting 1,000. Well, hey, at least this was only a 35-minute target practice there. Hey, we built the Panama Canal. We had tens of thousands of people lose their lives over it. The Carter gave away for a fucking dollar. I say we just hand Panama back a dollar there and tell them that it's ours, because the Panama Canal is essential for us, for our shipping and all that. If the China was to close it, you think your stuff's expensive now? Wait until China closes the Panama Canal. Welcome, Kimberly. She goes, the drama said an intelligent database. And Robbie, yep, of course the president. Welcome, Dustin Nunez. Welcome, welcome. Andromeda said it bring historic data online. And I said I'll answer the chat after. So is this drill baby drill or steel baby drill? Well, what they're gonna do is basically we're sending our groups down there. Then Venezuela will get to keep the majority of the money. We'll basically be buying all their oil, but we'll get preferential treatment for buying the oil. Is what it is. Fox News is a joke. Yeah, it is, but it's better than the Chronicling Agent Network, MSNBS, MS No One Watching. The Washington Post. I'm saving money on toilet paper by using that as my fucking toilet paper. And hey, Scurvy, how's it going? And welcome, Gap. Welcome, welcome. Everybody say hi. Yeah, and yes, they did get Maduro in 35 minutes. Yeah, they invaded Venezuela, took out their entire military and captured Maduro in less time than it takes me to get to work. And what is bull, Andy? You gotta be more specific than that. And yeah, they got him, folks. And LDG, you're now lady. Hey, lady. And Penny, what's your point? Triple X, what's your point? I have absolutely no problem with people being gay. Maybe make some gay jokes, but I have no problem with it. I know some pretty cool people that are gay. They're just not the flamboyant, oh my God, here they fucking come kind of gay people. Ask her what her point is. Yeah, Trump's your daddy now. Yeah. Then BCJ, welcome. He says calling another man daddy is gay. So, I still want to know what's your point. Hey, if I'm gay, I'm gay then. Whatever else. I have no problem. Get his ass Venezuela. Apparently he's gay. Sure. Stop using what I said. Like, nobody really cares. And welcome, Fidel. He goes, too bad Trump didn't run in 2000. Oh, yeah, Bush was a fucking piece of shit. Trump's your daddy now. That's it. Welcome. If Trump was president in 2020, yeah, but I do not support that having more than 2 terms, just for the plain simple fact is Trump gets 2 or more terms, then Obama, heaven forbid Biden would have ran again, or fucking Clinton or Bush, they could have all got more than 2 terms. No, fuck that. Yeah, Bush was a moron. Obama was trash. Clinton was a perv. Carter was a sucker. And hey, Nemesis, get on up here. Yeah, but Venezuela has oil. And Maduro is a piece of shit. Hey, Eugene, welcome. Hey, you got expertise in this. Come on up. I got the link at the top there, or up. I'll let out people that I can verify are gonna whip it out on stream. Oh, we got some. Let's see. Where is it? Where did I move?
Eugene Bird, you're the king. Super chats making our stars sing. Lighting the lounge, keeping it free. You're the sugar daddy of Gorilla. Thank you, Eugene, you're the best. Better than all the rest. With every puff we raise a cheer. Eugene Bird, our hero here.
let's see. Yeah, he fucked around and found out. Taking back what was stolen is not stealing. The regime sees billions of dollars of U.S. oil. Oh, yeah, I'm not too familiar with that there, but I've heard about it. But I haven't. And hail, old man bird. Yeah, well, that's just I like your insights. You're pretty good talking. Yeah, you're good talking to. Just a second. Yeah, so well, I'm waiting to see if anybody will pop up. Let's see what uh, X has to say. So yeah. Let's see. Thank you, God, for allowing us to see this shitty tyrant Nicolás Maduro captured. May he live for many, many, many years in prison. I don't know I don't know if the U.S. still has the death penalty, so they might actually get him. You got Maduro on the Ujima. Yeah, but you know me and whipping things out, JK. I think it would be interesting to hear old man Bird's opinion. Yeah, be a rare treat to get out. People are bringing up Iraq. Oh, let's see what Congress is trending. Let's see what these assholes have to say. Let's see, General. Pray the administration pray are listening to the real James Wood. 2026 could be a really good year, but in recent history, as a teacher, we're in real trouble. So make America great. Why not make accountability great again? Let's see. Republicans have the presidency, Supreme Court, the House, and the Senate, and yet we don't have voter ID. Not a single crooked Democrat has been jailed, censored, impeached, or expelled. Taxpayers are being defrauded by the bill. So basically, people bitching about this. Congress wanted a briefing before any operations in Venezuela took place. Pesach would have complied. You can bet that Mark Kelly would have leaked it. Oh yeah. Mark Kelly, Schumer, Pelosi, fucking Flaxahantis there. They will AOC will go running. You know that fucking hooder at Jasmine Crockett would have fucking had something to say. You know, Omar would have said something just to distract away from her fraud being in the center of all this fraud in Minnesota. No one cares if it's oil or not. No one cares if Congress approved this or not. No one cares at all. Trump freed 29 million. There's really 29 million people in Venezuela. It changed destiny for Latin America before most of the people bitching and moaning even woke up and brushed their teeth. Let's see. This mission was perfectly executed. Yeah, and they called it the one issue I did. There was a couple issues I did have with the press conference though, like him saying that it's that America basically President America can express it or outsource its will to wherever in the world it wants. It's like we have to have a genuine reason like I somewhat approve of them going after Maduro. I do not like regime change, but the reason we went after Maduro is the all the drugs pouring into the United States are killing our citizens and that. And hey, Miss Martin Muses, I got the link if you want to come up. I know you. It kills thousands of our citizens every day. They're and it's in our own hemisphere. It's in our own interest there. But otherwise, I'm not a big fan of regime change because it usually goes bad. But sometimes you just gotta let this stuff play out. Let's see. and people for more. Let's see, hurry on, bring the receipts. We want to know how each and every politician became. Let's see, nobody. Same as. All right. Yeah, this is about Congress. Let's see what. Let's see. This might be one of the biggest stories of the year. Under Trump's direction, U.S. Delta Force captured Nicolás Maduro. We know that how successful street goes. Life is built. They hate Trump more than they love America. Oh, they must have shot his bodyguard or something right in front of him that they got that there. People are celebrating. Well, let's see. President Trump just posted this epic footage of the U.S. strike on Venezuela with Fortune Son playing in the background. Well, you can't have any Chinooks or Blackhawks without Fortune Son playing. Like whenever I hear Fortune Son, I always picture the jungles of Vietnam. Yeah. People agreeing. Should the U.S. I don't know what halal products are. Maduro refused to stop sending poison to the United States and murdering American citizens, so Trump sent an Armada troops proportionalizing their defenses and sent special ops teams to arrest them and bring them back to the. It's not really. Well, it's gangsters the amount of time it took because we've been in charge of regime change. We changed the regime in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. I'm pretty sure there's a few other ones. Let's vote for 3 a.m. to capture dictators having the ship be fed on the U.S. killing. Just clear that people are thankful and celebrating the. Yeah, it's just a lot of celebrating here. Mausoleum of the former anti. What did it? What they dig out the tomb of Hugo Chavez? What they do? Baba's tomb. Okay, so the military run over protesters. Let's see. The only reason why the U.S. Sheriff is yet to attack North Korea is because to capture Kim Jong-un, just like he did Nicolás Maduro, means because the country has nuclear weapons. Just have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Now give it time. Elon Omar literally says the U.S. government will be bending its knee to do the will of the Somali people. Get the fuck out of America. Go fuck yourselves. I can agree with that. So, yeah, this is a lot more. Holy Curtis, get up here. Nah. Thanks. I have to do somewhere. All right, not a problem. And Kapla, Curtis. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Glory to your house. JK incoming. So evil fascist orange man is taking down an innocent narco terrorist that only wants to make an honest living. Yeah. Yeah, just like the guy who stole my laptop made an honest living. Everybody saying hello, hello, hello. And hey, Herc, how's it going? Everybody saying hi. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a lot of the same stuff. Oh, let's see. Let's look at the actual news part. I want to know, who do you guys think, if they would have told Congress about this, who do you think would have been the first one to leak it? I bet you it would have been either Mark Kelly or Chuck Schumer. Oh, I love this. For my next week, I'll make the Democrats defend Maduro. You know, I haven't seen a lot of the White House is confirming U.S. military operations to clear these drugs. No, they're not. Oh, where was her bitching when Obama bombed a cafe in a fucking country we were not at war with to extrajudicially assassinate a son of a U.S. citizen? He killed a U.S. citizen extrajudicially in a country we're not playing at. I bet you this fucking cunt right here did not say a fucking word. And let's see, kudos to President. So John Cornyn he's congratulating him. Let's see, not shocked by this. Those are comments. The internet remains undefeated. Yeah, everybody's putting the same thing on here. Oh yeah, it's Harry Hall. I'm sure liberal ladies will be gearing up for some protests. True that these libtards and commies are crying today and promos blah blah blah. This will be a topic they'll use for sure. Let's see. Unfortunately, my cold got worse. Double ear infection. Oh, ouch! Had to get to urgent care and get some shots. Oh, fuck, that sucks. They have to give me the old steroids. I have to wait on for a few minutes. Chuck Schumer is a real defender of the Republic. He wants all of us to be able to buy drugs and vote Democrat. There you go. There's your Democrats' next slogan. Free drugs if you vote for me. I can already see it. Let's see. So yeah, this one's they're all just posting the same thing and making fun of Dems. Oh, well, is Marco Rubio here? I have speech is truly remarkable. 0 leaks. Blah blah blah. I don't think Cuba's next. Let's see. Boom. What a mic drop from Marco Rubio. The Constitution does not say you elect the president and then you put in place a State Department to undermine the president if the person who's the Secretary of State doesn't agree with him. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. People just reported same stuff there. Let's see. The operation went smoothly, but tending to the aftermath is more important. Yeah, this is why I'm not a fan of regime changes because look at Libya became a bigger shithole after we took out Gaddafi. Iraq's a bigger shithole and far worse off than after we took out Hussein. Do I need to mention Afghanistan? Syria, they're executing Christians like crazy. It's because when we go to do regime change, we try to still impose our will after the regime change there, and those people there don't want it and don't know how to handle it. Versus if we just like, Like all the people in Venezuela celebrating. Now we got to let the Venezuelan people lead to run their own country. We cannot impose our own will on it. And the Bobcat wants up. Where will the Somalis luring centers get their money if the CIA drug money quits flowing? Oh well, you ever notice that there hasn't been much riots there since we stopped the USAID there? And let's stop viewing on X there because there's nothing new coming. Yeah. Plus, we all know you want to see the big old Bobcat. Yeah. Now don't bite me, you little asshole. Let's see, agree scurvy. Honestly, I'm not either. I don't know that I like this, but then again, if it can slow the flow of drugs into the country down, then it could be good. But we also cannot completely impose our will on Venezuela, because that's just going to lead to another Syria, another Lebanon or Libya, another Iraq, another Afghanistan, and it leads us into our own fucking hemisphere, right in our back door. And people are saying Cuba's next. Now, Trump's biggest thing right now is stemming illegal immigration and stemming the flow of drugs into our country. I'm willing to bet if they're going to do this again, they're going to go after the cartels and the Mexican president. I'm guessing Mexico will be next, if there's a next. Because you got there, I bet you anything he's going to go out. They're going to start doing military strikes on. And for these members of Congress that are bitching that every time Trump does a military operation, they're awfully quiet when fucking Obama was doing it, and when Bush was doing it, and when fucking Clinton was doing it, Biden was doing it, Bush Sr. was doing it, Reagan was doing it, Carter was doing it. Who's that asshole we all forget about? Not Nixon. Ford, Gerald Ford. Oh, he might not have done anything because nobody fucking remembers him doing anything. But yeah, thank you, Ford. And Kitty, wait. Altamiro tells which investment bankers are laundering the trillions of drug money. Oh yeah. I would like to see that. Welcome, Mr. Smith. Welcome. It'll be interesting to know. I would love to hear it if they. I would love to hear it if he starts. If they starts naming members of Congress. And welcome, Ford. And welcome, Moira. Here's a kid. Yeah, here's your Bobcat cat there, Moira. Here's the Bobcat. Moira says, "I see the New Year's shit show has become." Yeah, but at least it was over less time than it takes me to go to work. So. Let's see. Glory to you and your house, Moira. And which ones are large enough in enough countries you hide that much income? Well, I don't think it matters on the size of the country there. I think it matters more on what they can do with it. And hey, Nemesis here, and hey, Moira.
Meow.
Meow. I got your Bobcat for you, Moira.
Huh?
I got your Bobcat for you.
Oh, I love the. Come here, Bob. Come here. Come here, Bob.
Oh,
I got Bob.
Mine's fatter than yours.
Yeah, she's very fluffy, but it has a very tiny little body under there. It's for show. I need to find my cigarettes. Hold on.
Yeah, mine there. When he walks, his stomach goes back and forth.
Well, I have to say I'm happy that Maduro looks like he's in a healthier condition than poor Gaddafi was.
Oh wait, we captured Gaddafi? I thought they just sent them. I just thought they missile struck his mansion.
We hired locals to help capture him, and then they beat and sodomized him to death in the streets.
Okay, I thought we just missile struck his mansion.
No, that's what I'm saying. At least Maduro looks like he's in healthier condition. That was such a shit show that happened in 2011, 2012. Oh my god, this is completely uncivilized. We basically want the oil, so we want to attack a sovereign nation. Kitty, another kitty.
Another kitty.
I mean, Trump just got done pardoning some drug kingpin recently, but they're going to go after some guy in another country because they want the oil.
Oh yeah, we could have told you it was for oil. He was flat out saying it was for the oil.
It's insane.
Hey, you gotta give Trump credit for one thing. At least he flat out admitted it's for the oil. He flat out admitted it in the press conference.
I mean, that's kind of better, sorta.
Not really.
I miss the days when they at least tried to lie to us, and when they were caught lying, they had their head down, pretend to wipe a tear, and did their apology tour. They don't even bother apologizing to us now. They don't even bother at least trying to bullshit us. They're like, nah, what are you gonna do about it? Come to my state, find out.
And the honesty is the nice change of pace. The honesty about it is the nice change of pace.
Well, it would help if they could drag us to The Hague for it. But the last time anyone tried to drag America to The Hague, George W. Bush threatened to invade The Hague.
What the hell's The Hague?
The Den Hague is the ICC. It's where war criminals go.
Oh, the International Court of Justice.
It's where they are tried and imprisoned.
Oh, are you talking about the International Court of Justice?
George W. Bush threatened to invade The Hague if they had punished some of our soldiers who had raped and murdered a bunch of civilians overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on chats here. Bank of England, whose CEO is now PM in Canada. Canada's Cardi was a investment banker from BlackRock. Oh yeah. Then Mayor Chris saying hello to everyone. Maduro's found dead. No, he's alive. He's being held on the USS Iwo Jima destroyer.
The kidnapped the man and his wife.
Yeah, don't be afraid of Mark Carney. It's complete bullshit. Yeah, well, we've been doing this for 40 damn years, and now all of a sudden only people are complaining there because we look at Obama extrajudicially killing the American citizen in a country we weren't at war at. He bombed a civilian cafe.
Hi, Mr. Pickles.
Just like howdy here. More.
All right, explain to me what the communist dictator did. I mean, since you want to believe what your mainstream media tells you, what did Maduro do? What did he do to us? What did he inflict upon us?
Thousands of pounds of drugs pouring into our country, killing thousands of
our
citizens.
CIA brings that shit in, and we all know it. The CIA has been bringing in drugs for ages. In fact, Trump just pardoned a drug kingpin recently. He pardoned a whole bunch of people that he wasn't supposed to.
I didn't hear about the drug kingpin being.
Let me go find it real quick.
Pardon there. I thought I'd definitely hear about that from people lining.
And I'm not left, actually. I'm quite right. I'm very, very right. I'm very constitutionalist, very pro-gun, all of that. So just because I don't agree with you doesn't make me a leftist. But it does make you an idiot, possibly. Trump pardons.
Let's see. Moyer has the right to complain. She complained about the others, but her
I bitch about
shares
everybody.
the lies of the puppet masters.
I'm surprised I didn't get in trouble for the stuff I said about Biden when I said him and his son and his wife should be dragged out in the street and beaten with sticks. The hell, I'd be the first one to swing. All right, in December of 2025, President Trump issued a pardon to former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who had been convicted in the U.S. court of drug trafficking and weapons offenses. He had been sentenced to 45 years in prison for his role in a conspiracy that funneled over 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S. This pardon generated significant controversy as prosecutors described Hernandez as the center of one of the largest, most violent drug trafficking conspiracies in the world.
What's the source and what did we get in return for pardoning him?
Let's see. It contradicts Trump's anti-drug rhetoric. In defense of the decision, Trump administration and its allies, including Roger Stone, framed the case as politically motivated overreach by Biden administration. Hernandez was released from federal prison in early December 2025 following the pardon, though Honduran authorities subsequently issued a separate international arrest warrant for him on unrelated money laundering and fraud charges. It's not really saying what we got in return for this, but BBC's talking about it, USA Today, Congress.gov, Washington Post, so kind of everybody.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know what we got in return for it.
Yeah. I just didn't want like some random tweet from
right.
I'm
not putting on the National Enquirer. No.
Yeah.
The article is right next to Bat Boy found in cave. No.
Well, I had someone. Their source was some Twitter account that was a Bangladesh account.
Oh wow.
that was their source of that was their source of information there, but no. Okay.
Yeah. Congress.gov and a bunch of other shit.
I'm pretty sure either we got
not that Congress tells the truth much, but it's just kind of everybody.
Either we got like a bunch of names of other people of other fish to go after, or we could have gotten some kind of deals with the Honduran.
I don't think President Trump or any of these motherfuckers have a right to do anything to anyone right now until those Epstein files are released. But they'll do anything to take accountability for themselves. Trump was sitting there trying to, and not just Trump, it's like a whole bunch of them were trying to say, oh, the files are on Bondi's desk, and then those files aren't real. That's y'all still talking about that.
I thought they just did a massive file.
A bunch of redacted shit. It was a bunch of redacted stuff and badly redacted. It's like, so it was redacted in such a way that if you copy and paste all the redactions and put it over onto another thing, should be able to see everything. So it was awkward, and Trump's name and a whole bunch of other people showed up quite often. I forget who all else was in there, but like I hadn't gotten really into a whole bunch of it because like so many fake releases, I didn't bother necessarily messing with it right now.
See, that's the problem. We got all the made up shit that's getting mixed in with the real shit.
Exactly. Well, that's done on purpose. That's done on purpose. So that way we don't know what's real and what's not. But the fact that we were promised a release and then they have played us the whole time, and the Speaker of the House has helped with this. And he's a little fucking weirdo. Mike Johnson, he's a little weirdo. I knew he was a weirdo from the day I first saw him, because when he came out of nowhere and got put in as Speaker of the House, I had never seen Nancy Pelosi going so fucking happy and patted him on the shoulder as he walked by. Dude, if she's happy to see you, something is wrong.
And let's see. Mr. Smith says, can't wait for Maduro to tell which investment bankers are laundering the trillions of dollars for drug money to the system. I bet it'll be another tentacle of the Epstein blackmail criminals.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be suicided in jail. He'll be suicided in jail, and they'll put in some American Zionist fucking puppet leader into that country to do as we tell them.
Man. Well, I wouldn't say Zionist, but
that's who pulls our strings. That's who pulls our strings now.
Well, we're the ones that put Zelensky in place in Ukraine, and they probably do the same thing in there to Venezuela. But I still
and
say
Venezuela's
people.
You not see who Zelensky
I still
puts
say
his loyalties to? He's gone over there and kissed Netanyahu's ass multiple times. He goes up to that weird ass wailing wall, humping it and shit, just like everybody else does. The problem is our politicians have loyalty to everybody but us.
Oh yeah, I could have told you that. We
Well, I
should
know,
not
but
have foreign.
that's an issue. Now, if it was Ireland or Scotland or fucking Greenland, I would say the same shit about them if that was the case. But it's not who that is.
Yeah, and he's on the USS Iwo Jima there. We'll see what happens. See, I still say we shouldn't have foreign-born people in our members of Congress there because Ilhan Omar has flat out said she has her loyalty to Somalia.
No dual citizenship by anybody for anywhere at all.
Yeah,
in fact, no foreign money should be going to our politicians at all. There should be no lobbyists.
Well, Ilhan Omar flat out said that her loyalty to Somalia. Fucking
that's a fucking problem.
Rashida Tlaib
I like her stance with as far as AIPAC is concerned, but I don't know if she's a whole lot better if her loyalties are somewhere else as well.
Oh, she's at the center of all this fraud that's going on in Minnesota, the $18 billion worth.
I am a little confused about that because half of the people are acting like that's a new thing, and then the other half are showing documentation saying that's been under investigation since like 2019 or 20, and it's like, well, nothing's fucking happened with it, has it? If that's still under investigation.
Well, all the person that's getting the kickbacks from all this fraud there is the one in charge of appointing the person who's in charge of investigating the fraud. And then these Democrats, even though a lot of these people were found guilty by a jury of their peers, the judge has overturned the jury's rulings or findings.
Oh, I would love to see that judge's financials. Like, let's see that motherfucker's bank accounts. I want to see what's been going in there.
Which one? It's been multiple judges.
All of them. Fuck them. Drag them all out into the street, chained together, and fucking let's look at their financials.
Yeah.
I don't care what party they belong to. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to gather irrefutable truth before you out the criminals. Yeah.
I really feel like we should have done something a little different than, fucking. Oh no, poor Nemesis lost internet. I'm sorry. I was afraid I had run them off. But
hey, well, in the nature of the live stream, I want to keep only people I know on the stream there. But right. I want to hear everybody's opinion. I don't care if we agree or disagree, as long as we can have a civil conversation.
I'm very unhappy about this. We need to stop invading other countries, especially when they haven't done anything to us. I mean, if they had sent a missile at us, I could see that. I could see retaliating, but. Like when the Twin Towers went down and those were Saudi citizens, we invaded everywhere but Saudi Arabia, goddammit. And so now supposedly, and I do say supposedly because, if somebody's accused of a crime, we should see proper evidence. But saying that Maduro is single-handedly responsible for drugs coming in is like saying that President Trump is guilty of the fact that somebody on 23rd Street here in Oklahoma City is selling crack. Like, just because somebody in this country is selling it doesn't mean it has anything to do with the politician necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, if I went to Canada and beat the shit out of somebody, it doesn't mean that any of our politicians had anything to do with that. Just because an American citizen went and did something. And so just because a citizen of another country comes and does something, it's quite possible it's just on them that they did it. And they weren't sent by anybody else. So invading a sovereign nation and attacking and arresting the president and his family is insane. And maybe there would be a better bit of evidence if Whiskey Leaks over there, Hegseth, wasn't blowing up every fucking boat he saw without at least, pulling up some Coast Guard type people to take the fucking product off the boat and prove that there's actual drugs on the boat instead of sinking everything to the bottom of the water. Because then there goes all the evidence, all the stuff to prove that they're telling the truth or not.
Oh, well, I can already see it.
Evidence.
I can already see Hollywood's next big hit, Cocaine Shark.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That is such a terrible movie. I think there is a Cocaine Shark one.
Oh, is there? I know there's a Cocaine Bear.
Counter cocaine, but
there was Cocaine Bear from a bunch of cocaine that was dropped out of the plane.
So
but This will be the sequel, Cocaine Shark.
Oh, God Almighty! But
Yeah, let's see.
But they're just shooting and sinking boats, and apparently Hegseth ordered a second strike on that boat when there was a survivor hanging onto the debris and shot him too. I'm like, that's actually illegal to do.
I haven't seen any proof that they did that. I think it's just
No, Hegseth went up there and said, yeah, he ordered it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and then he tried to walk it back when the president was, they were talking to him and Hegseth, and President Trump kind of threw him under the bus. He's like, well, I don't know anything about that. I wasn't there for that. You'll have to talk to him about that. And so Hegseth was like, well, I wasn't in the room, so he started trying to walk it back. But I watched them come up with this silliness, and I was like, you've got to be shitting me.
Okay. And
like if you initially hit a target, and the fact is, as far as I know, these targets don't have, like, there's nothing noticeable with weapons on there. There's small, like, little speedboat looking things. So they're not even, like, as far as I can tell, decked out with anything. Right. And certainly
But we do double tap strikes all the time.
There are ways that you're not supposed to do that, though. Because, like, in instances, like, all right, so let's say you're on the battlefield, you shoot some people, and they've been shooting at you. You walk up and you're supposed to, like, if you need to, shoot them then. But, like, if you're walking by and they don't seem to be doing anything, you're not, I think there's some rule about not, like, going back and shooting them like this or something. Like, I can't remember quite what it was, but some people in the military had told me this, but there are certain rules to how you're supposed to shoot somebody and not shoot somebody. And there's they showed, like, little videos. It looks almost like a night vision kind of thing, so it can't see it very well. You can see the little boat kind of going along the water, and then... So I can't see any evidence that there's any drugs on board. I can't see little kilo box type things. I mean, it doesn't mean they're not there, but I mean, I can't see it. I can't see anything that looks like weapons on the people in the boat. Nothing to imply that they are anything maybe other than tourists. I don't know. But you sink all the evidence to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, if you seized a couple of those boats and showed there was drugs and bad people on it, that would help the argument. That would help strengthen your case of what you said you've been doing. But if you destroy everything and be like, well, all the evidence is at the bottom of the water, that does, especially with all that's been going on, that does not help encourage trust in the government.
Yeah. I want to say,
I want to see evidence of what this person did.
Yeah. Well, let's see. To welcome Thomas, he goes, so Trump removes the Putin ally from power. The Democrats are outraged. Well, the problem with the outrage, like, Warriors bitched about every president and all this shit for
everybody
since
Kennedy. Everybody since Kennedy, and actually, I might low key kind of feel bad about, because I think Nixon might have been kind of harangued into it. But everybody after that was absolute shit show. The Iran-Contra bullshit, the fact that we armed Al Qaeda we created Al Qaeda, armed them, and then sent them to Afghanistan to run out the Soviets, and then we left them there, armed and trained, and it just left a shit show all after that.
Yeah,
I hate everybody.
The problem is people are always bitching what side that's here. I don't agree with it. I want to see it played out.
This is the side we're dealing with right now. When Biden was in, I was talking about how his entire fucking empire ought to be beaten with sticks and possibly shot.
No, but but when like Obama was doing shit, all these people are bitching about this year. They're silent.
Fuck Obama too. He's drone strike more people than any other Nobel Peace Prize winner ever. Fuck that guy too. Fuck him in his ear and his wife.
Yeah. And let's see.
And Hillary. Fuck all of them.
Oh, sorry to hear you lost the internet, Nemesis. Let's see. 2023 Cocaine Shark, an action movie star. Oh, someone beat us to
I told you I thought there was.
Guess what I'm watching today? I was just let's see, military. Let's see. Oh, and Herc was in the military, so he could tell you this.
They would tell you law of armed conflict. He was talking about when I was talking about whether or not you can, okay. The boats are tracked from launch. Oh, boats. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I haven't had coffee yet. I'm sorry. Boats are tracked from launch, and they are listening to phone conversations. They know who is on board. They know where the boats have on them, and the intel of those boats are excellent. But we're trusting a government. I'm still having issues with trusting any government. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It doesn't matter who's in office. The double tap happened when the crew continuously coordinated and pick up transfer as much product as possible. No, it showed the boat going along the water by itself. It got hit, and then the drone was told to come back and hit him again when there was like one or two people holding onto debris that had survived the initial attack. I mean, they showed this on television from the White House or whoever. The Department of War. Obama ordered a strike on U.S. Yes, exactly. Yeah, he was a U.S. citizen. His name was Anwar Awlaki, and he and his 16-year-old son, mind you, were New Mexico citizens. Yeah, no trial.
Yeah, and they attacked a civilian cafe in a country we're not at war with.
Yeah, I have problems. If a foreign national of any kind came over and attacked anybody, even one of their own citizens, on our soil and blew up a building or blew up a car in traffic, anything, we would have a shit fit if this happened. So, all right, so tell us, how much personal naval warfare experience have you had exactly? So I have to have naval experience to know if something is illegal or not? That's wild. So if I complain that someone stole my car, they're like, well, are you a lawyer? Is that the argument I'm going to get? Like, come on now.
Well, we got three military people that I'm aware of in our chat there with Herc, Old Man Bird, and Phantom Boomer. We're all Air Force, so they can tell us. There was a 45-minute delay between the two, and we're accepting their nav cell phone conversation.
So 45 minutes, and they came back and finished those people off. They didn't think that maybe they should send a boat to go drag them and arrest them and question them. I thought we were about interrogating people. What happened there?
And Mr. Smith just saying Crimea River. Well, we're just having conversation here, and we're all entitled to our own opinions here. Head case. I like to have conversations here. I like to have people with different opinions. Yeah, I miss Bird. Bird would have had a lot to say on this. Too bad Bird isn't here anymore. I would have been. Yeah. I bet Delta Force is going after the cartels next. And welcome, DJ Cyborg. I woke up this morning to the news that we've captured Maduro there, and we're having an after the press conference chat here. Yeah, we're talking about the Venezuela, the Maduro, and all this stuff. Those smugglers cast their lot. They knew exactly what they were up against. Yeah, well, when they probably first started, they weren't getting any pushback from our military. Now we're actually hitting them there. So
it says that so the AI overviews kind of got like details from a little bit of this and that, but it says the boat's destination, contrary to initial suggestions, the boat was headed to the U.S. Reports from a closed-door briefing with lawmakers indicated the vessel was meeting another boat bound for Suriname, I guess, a small South American country. I don't know where that's at. In response to
Suriname, that's next to it. I'll pull up the map here.
Yeah, so I've never heard of that, so I don't know where that's actually at.
It's a very small country. I've heard of it.
The incident was generated widespread controversy, with many legal experts arguing that the second strike was illegal under international law and potentially an extrajudicial killing. The U.S. law of war manual prohibits giving orders to leave no survivors. In response to the news, both the Senate and the House Armed Services Committee announced plans to conduct bipartisan review and vigorous oversight of the operation, including interviewing the admiral in charge and reviewing the video footage of the strike. Lawmakers were later shown a video of a second strike during a classified meeting. This event was part of a broader campaign of the U.S. military strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and East Pacific that began in September, killing 110 people in total.
All right, I got a map up here for you, Morga. Here's Venezuela, here's Guyana, and here's Suriname.
Oh, okay.
And then French Guyana.
Yeah, I have never heard that place. So that's why I wasn't even sure how to pronounce it.
The only reason I knew about Suriname is because our social studies teacher made us sit there and memorize the maps of South America, North America, Europe, and Asia, and Africa. Africa was just too many. And I probably would. I've slept through a tornado before.
Damn.
So. Hell, a lot of time. Yeah, when I was 5, I still remember sitting out on the. When I was 5, I still remember sitting out on the front porch watching the tornado go down the highway that took out our laundromat.
Right. All right. He says, "How is clean up the streets of America a bad thing?" This wasn't in America, though. And they apparently, if their intel was so great, then they would have known they were going to this South American country, not the U.S. So they killed somebody who wasn't even headed for our country. And I assume that we have naval boats and all kinds of shit that can detain pirates and everything else if the occasion calls for it. So grab these fucking people, arrest them, take whatever drugs are on board, and put them on trial.
Yeah.
I can really feel like if Obama was doing this or Biden, everybody would feel differently about this. If it's illegal for one, it's illegal for either.
Yeah.
And Obama did do illegal shit, and he should have been charged. He should have been thrown in prison or executed, especially since Obama and Hillary had a whole lot to do with, 4 of our Navy SEALs and our American ambassador named Stevens being killed in Libya. They should have been executed.
Yeah, a head case or a heat. Is it heat case or head case?
I think it's head case.
Head case.
I'm going to guess that it's head case, but I mean, I'm not 100% certain. I think so. It makes sense because I've never heard of the heat case. But yeah, there are so many presidents and leaders that should have been executed or tried for treason and everything else that they've done, and that's just in my lifetime.
Hey, I got some more breaking news. This is my first live stream that I've had 1,000 views while live.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah. Obama launched more drone strikes than Bush and Trump. Oh yeah, we mentioned that there.
Fuck Obama for doing that. Absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, just because I talk shit about one side doesn't mean I like the other side.
Yeah, I'm no fan. I was no fan of that extrajudicial strike in a country we're not war with that, But I have no problem with drone strikes as long as there's legitimate reason to have.
Right, if it's legitimate, exactly. And I feel like the threat has to be immediate.
Well, I think
people it's people on some little shitty ass boat that may or may not have guns and drugs is not.
Well,
they're not even coming to the U.S. It's not to say they weren't going to that South American country and then from there might be going to the U.S. That's possible. That's why we have a Coast Guard. That's why we have naval ships with weapons guarding our waters. That's why we have them.
Well, I would say those are shitty boats because the motors on those alone cost more than my house.
Hold on.
And
These look like it is. Tiny ass raggedy little boats. They look like some refugee boats or something with a bunch of
the boat. Look at the motors on them. Those
well, unfortunately, they don't show the footage of that. Well, this one might. Let me see.
Yeah, but those motors on those boats cost more than my house. And guess it was head case in gaps of take Seth. Drone strikes and direct action strikes are similar in desired ends. State just not in execution. So you see what we saw with.
Let me see if I can go to images and find this. Yeah, these are like some very small little boats that are going along, but I can't really see. They don't show the footage close enough to see the motors.
Here.
So it kind of makes it difficult to see. Here's one's a little clearer and it looks a little fancier. Like that one looks like it could be a little fancier, but you can't hardly see anything on it. Oh, I'm trying to hold it properly there. Yeah, there's one, and it doesn't look that deep, so it doesn't look like it's got a whole arsenal hidden or anything. It looks like a pretty shallow little boat that goes really fast. So these are like the different boats they've blown up. So, and then none of them look that ferocious. I mean, some look like they're kind of fast, but I'm not really an expert in motorboats. So,
no, these things are
big. They're very shallow boats. This particular one doesn't look like hardly anything on the boat. Like there's like a couple of people there and very little. I can see a lot of the floor. There doesn't seem to be a lot of products on there or items in general.
No, those are boards covering the drugs.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but again, this doesn't look very deep. But the point is, though,
they're shallow.
If they know that we're doubting them, they should do a little more to try to show us that they're telling the truth. But if they're sitting there protecting a bunch of pedophiles, then why should I believe anything they say if they're busy protecting child rapers?
The thing with the drug boats are they're shallow boats with very powerful motors meant for speed to evade our Coast Guard ships, because our Coast Guard ships are very slow.
Yeah, but they shoot very fast.
Yeah. But the problem is getting them within range of these boats with our Coast Guard ships. And let's see, drone strikes and direct action strikes are similar in desired end state. They are not in execution. Let's see what you saw with Maduro. And welcome, Sci-Fi.
I think it's wild they can arrest Maduro, but they can't like arrest somebody off a boat and see if they're trafficking or not.
Well, the boats are very fast to be able to land the people on them.
And you could shoot the back of their boat, and any survivors drag them aboard and interrogate.
Yeah. And let's see. Sci-Fi Sit-Dan here says, "Hello there, gorillas. Random thoughts. Welcome to Sci-Fi Sit-Dan. Welcome. I used to watch Venezuela TV and even brief Venezuelan military before Hugo Chavez ruined everything. Later, Maduro. Thank you to the American military and President Trump's administration." Yeah. A lot of people in Venezuela are celebrating that Maduro's gone, though. Finally.
Maduro has done nothing to us. I remember when people celebrated Gaddafi being killed. And, like, Gaddafi hadn't fucked with us since the 1970s.
Yeah. Let's see.
The guy was pretty much retired. He was a grandfather.
And Headcase here says, "Head of the snake." Well, the surface boats may stopping, but the narco submarines will fill the gap. I don't think they got much for submarines, and if they do, they're diesel submarines we can easily track.
I have no idea if they do or not. I thought they would use AI voice to tell the Venezuelan military to stand down. I do not know. Would we stand down if someone invaded us?
Yeah, but would you? But do you really? Well, yeah. Would they fall? First of all, would they fall forward? And second of all, do we have enough confidence in our leadership to think of something like that? Let's see. Drug ODs in America are almost 3 times higher than all American combat deaths combined. Getting rid of the drug lords only helps to protect and safeguard Americans. Yeah, but as long as now another one steps up and takes his place. There. Let's see. Thomas says, "I was in Venezuela on a cruise in 2002. Nice. And welcome, Angry Man. Hello, White Cat. I must confess that I just woke up with the...
Yikes.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Does anybody...
Well, I doubt that America would be invaded like that either, but I'm just saying, like, you can't necessarily, someone was saying didn't understand why the Venezuelan military didn't stand down or whatever, and it's like, we wouldn't.
Yeah. And it's easy to kind of tell the AI voice there, and especially if every person has their own mannerisms. So
Right.
the leaders know the mannerisms. The military leaders do know the mannerisms of Maduro, and there's probably built-in safeguards too for that AI, in case AI was used.
Said, man, I was stationed in Honduras for 4 years, fluent in Spanish. I've heard what Venezuelans had to say. Fuck no, they didn't want him. But that's still not our business, though. Like, other countries, other sovereign countries, sometimes need to figure out their own shit. It is not our job to play world police with everybody. At least it's not supposed to be. Especially by people, like I said, like the last, administrations, the last 2 or 3, or actually 4, let's include Obama in this, the last 4 who wipe their ass with the Constitution, all while protecting pedophiles. Like, as long as any presidency is protecting pedos and human traffickers, I mean, have we forgotten about all the kids that disappeared in the Hawaii fires and no bodies were found? Did we forget that? I didn't. I'm not taking the word of these people telling me somebody's a bad guy. Maybe someone who just didn't play ball with them is all it is. They are in no moral position to invade anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Venezuelans like or dislike him. I don't know. But it is not our job to play with other people's fucking administrations. We're supposed to protect ourselves and once in a while protect somebody else if they actually request it. But I don't feel like we're much doing any good, morally speaking, when Trump has basically admitted that's why we invaded, was for oil. Not because they gave a shit about the people there. Good and well, our presidency doesn't, or the last few presidencies doesn't actually give a shit about any poor people in other countries. They don't even give a shit about us.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about our veterans. They don't give a shit about the elderly, the homeless. They don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah. Fifth Jack, no one here is on meth. We're just having conversations here. And first he said, elect me. I'll take the rich people's money. Then when elected, he took their guns and he took over the media. No free elections, then took over the American oil companies' operations. Oh yeah, he did take that.
Well, that is shit, and I absolutely am against any leader who takes people's guns away. Absolutely. Like, I'm not saying that Maduro is a good guy. I never said that. But again, it's not our job to play world police with people. And then he took over the American oil company's ops. That I don't know, so that's possible.
Yeah.
But,
we went down, like we were invited down there. That we had like a 50-50 revenue share with the Venezuela and their oil company. Then once Maduro came into power, he kicked the Americans out and took all the oil, took over the oil operations there.
that makes a little more sense. It sounds a little better than just went there for the oil.
Yeah, no, we built a bunch of oil rigs and offshore oil platforms and all that, and the 50-50 revenue share, which Venezuela was making a shit ton of money on it. So then they kicked us out and then took the platforms.
Damn.
Oh, he lost the last election to that woman
who won the Nobel Prize. Oh, I forgot her name, but yeah. People are saying that she was a Zionist. I didn't know what happened with that. Did she just not get in office, or what was that?
I don't know.
Huh. So I sort of forgot about it.
Well, people were saying it was all rigged and all that. I never looked into it too much there.
Yeah, I only check out kind of other countries' shit if it seems like it has something to do with ours.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he did lose the election and just wouldn't advocate, I see that as a problem. Yes, again, it's still stuck somewhere between letting the Venezuelan people handle their shit and just set the building on fire and drag dude out themselves, and us interfering. So again, I'm more Ron Paul on the whole, like, not getting our nose into other people's shit as much as I can.
Yeah. Then he created a second Congress banned by his people and then he kicked out the judiciary.
Well, that definitely sounds like a problem. Like, I'm not, like I said, I never said Maduro was a good guy. I'm not rooting for Maduro, but I want us to handle and conduct ourselves as we're supposed to be and behave ourselves. He declared that Mikado, the woman, was not allowed to run because she was a traitor. Well, see that, yeah. I mean, our country does that shit too, saying if somebody's a traitor because they don't want to lose or whatever. So, honestly, I don't think our country is much better in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she only
they defend the U.S. and its interests.
Yeah, apparently he said she only lived because she hid. Well, she was still going on air in that because she dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. She is partly right. It's they defend the U.S. and its interests. Well, it comes down to geopolitics. Yeah, and they want to show strength to tell their own enemies to not majority interfere with our own geopolitics backyard. A lot of countries didn't recognize him as a legitimate president. Well, we didn't. European didn't. I don't think. I'm not sure about Canada there, but I think a lot of that was also kind of like at our direction going, hey, we don't recognize him. You shouldn't either. Because the United States has a lot of pull in what other countries can say and do.
Yeah, okay, so I looked it up and it said that BBC on July 29th of 2024 said that Maduro had won the Venezuelan election according to partial results announced. Let's see. Then it says January 10, 2025, Venezuelan Nicolás Maduro sworn in despite credible evidence that he lost. So yeah, apparently there was a whole bunch of shit going on. They hadn't really been, I mean, I guess they have been talking about it. I just didn't see it. So yeah, obviously that's not cool.
Let's see. Can Trump secure me a Venezuelan and taco truck? It's a beef con carne. Well, actually, you could actually make your own Mexican food. Like I started to make my own Chinese food because I got tired of paying 60. Like if I went to go get takeout and paying 60-some bucks, you know.
Right.
So I started making my own Chinese food. I make my own chicken wings. I'm making my own beef chicken, the barbecue chicken on a stick. I make my own pork wontons, and I just found out how to make crab ragoon. So I'm going to be making my own crab ragoon. Let's see. The Venezuelan election was rigged, and they rigged the U.S. elections allegedly. Yeah,
I believe most of the elections are rigged.
Yeah, Maduro's election was not on the up and up. Now there's a lot of elections like that. Maduro invited Iran and China and Russia and Cuba to spy in the U.S. He was trying to convert Colombia, Guatemala, and other countries to communism and dictatorships front to U.S. Yeah, but we impose our will of democracy and all that that on other countries also. We've been look at what we did to Iran, Iraq, Libya. Syria. We're trying to impose democracy in the Middle East, which does not conform to Islam.
And honestly, a lot of the shit going on in the Middle East wouldn't have happened if we hadn't interfered for such a long time and allowed it.
I blame mostly the French and the British for that because after
the British definitely. The French not as much, but the British had their hand in it just as much as we did. Yes. What
it was is either after World War I or World War II that Britain and France had split up the Middle East there.
Oh yeah, they chopped it to pieces. Absolutely.
Then when they turned it in. Yeah, no.
It looks like you and I are in the same house. Gorilla. Oh, you're.
What was that?
I think it's funny. It looks like you and I are in the same house. It's just that your wall is scratched. And mine is not.
Well, I can tell you. Well, I can tell you exactly. Here, I'll show you how this wall got so scratched.
The chair, yeah.
Yeah. No, but British is either after World War I or World War II that the French and Britain split up all, had all that
World
split
War
up.
One, the end of World War One was where a lot of that went.
Yeah.
And they definitely followed up the bullshit after World War Two as well.
And the lines were drawn geography, not culturally or tribally.
Exactly.
That's where a lot of the problems line up.
Yeah, they never gave us any shit. There was plenty of people being tourists over there, and there generally wasn't any international problems over there. I mean, sure, everybody has their issues, but like, no. After we started interfering, and Britain interfered, and Britain definitely interfered a fucking lot. Britain doesn't know how not to interfere and invade other countries. They don't know how not to do that. They have done that. England has done that since before they were fucking England, when they were still 6 fucking kingdoms. They got up with people's shit.
Yeah.
They are the worst of it.
Yeah.
But we definitely are, depending on what situation and time period, we're a close second or tied.
Yeah. The gaps of indeed, old man, and hey, Dan. I also want Trump to give us reparations for high food prices, insurance, house car. Well, that's been going. The problem lies all the way back to when we got off the gold standard with Nixon and our excessive spending. It's not just Trump.
Every president owes us reparations. Every president, damn near, for so long as I've been alive, owes somebody reparations for the bullshit they've done.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, throw them in prison if they're not dead already.
Yeah. And let's see. Owen Burr says, yes, I can't argue with that. And they screwed up dividing the Middle East. Yeah. It's all that cultural lines.
We kept sending the CIA in to stir up trouble where there was none. A certain little country was also stirring up shit so they could get people to go to their country. It was a whole thing. And it has been a mess. And now the situation is so bad that I don't think we can leave it, technically, because we've screwed it up so bad. I don't know if it'd be better or worse if we left the situation. Like, it's so badly damaged, I don't think it can be fixed. FDR went to Saudi to get their oil, but under Trump, the U.S. is a net exporter of energy. We don't need others' oil. I hadn't read up on what FDR had done about as far as the Middle East.
Yeah, I never even heard about FDR in the Middle East. I know.
I mean, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying, like, I
haven't even heard about this. So, if you want to come up and explain more of that, you're welcome to.
We have enough clean natural gas. At least I think that's what I think. Is that compressed natural gas or clean? That's probably compressed natural gas for 300 years. If I heard secondhand, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
we have clean natural gas. We have or compressed natural gas. I think it's compressed. I keep fucking that up. Well, the British taught us, and looks like the U.S. and Jealous is secretly saying that's my boy, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
And honestly, I'm a huge proponent of leaving countries the hell alone and minding our business.
Yeah.
If somebody
Hey,
fucks with us, then yes, but
yeah. Have you ever heard of the Tartarian Empire?
Oh, that like the kind of like the area around Russia that disappeared.
Let's see. Tartary.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be around where Russia is, because it's supposed to be near like China.
It's an alleged lost. Okay, so it's a alleged lost.
Ooh, you're freezing up.
Am I?
Yeah, you were a little bit. Yeah, it was like it sort of disappeared in like the late 1800s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Tartaria. I don't know much about it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have heard of it.
Yeah. The Tartarian Empire is a group of pseudo-historical conspiracy theories, including the ideas of hidden past and mud floods, which originated in pseudo-scientific Russian nationalism. Tartary or Tartaria is a historical name for Central Asia and Siberia. Conspiracy theories assert that Tartary or the Tartarian Empire was a lost civilization with advanced technology and culture that ignores well-documented accounts of Tartary within the historic of Asia. Modern conceptions of the conspiracy theories Tartary that claim to cover regions spanning central Afghanistan of northern Pakistan, as well as areas of Mongolia, China, and Russia Far East. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I have.
I never even heard of it.
Oh yeah, the name has crossed my path a little bit. Mud floods are interesting.
And have a good day. Yeah, have a good day, Thomas. Well, the British taught us well and looks at the U.S. and Chelsea and Seco saying, that's my point. I have great respect for you, Warrior Gorilla, and much of the chat. As independent thinkers and investigators and entitled to your policy input as great Americans. Yeah, well,
yeah,
we need to have conversations where we disagree and all that, and still have the same respect there. There's some people, I like them as a person, but when they start talking politics, and all I get, and I try to have a conversation with them, and all I get is eye rolls. It's just like, why bother? If you're just gonna sit there roll your eyes the whole time I'm talking, that means you're not listening, and you don't want to change your mind. You're not having a conversation.
Right. I mean, when I got up here, I did roll my eyes once. But that was because somebody called me accused me of being. I think someone implied that I was a leftist communist crying or something, and I'm like,
no,
no.
Well, I'm not talking.
They only
about
thought
that.
I was on. Well, I think it's because they only thought I was on Maduro's side, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
No,
not necessarily on
no.
Maduro's side. I'm on the side of the Constitution and how we're
No,
supposed to conduct ourselves.
I'll give a perfect example. We're having a politics discussion there, and I asked everybody on the panel, say something nice about the opposite side of what you voted for. And the first thing they did was just go, and they did it. I'm not actually making sure I noticed. Like, I was like, what's wrong with that?
I'm a Republican, but right now I have a hard time thinking of anything good to say. Right now, I have to admit.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, they just had to say something nice. They just rolled their.
Oh, hold on. How come they're keeping Antarctica secret? Oh, yes, because a bunch of countries have sort of laid claim to it, but nobody's allowed to visit it. And there is talk there is some kind of underground bunker or some kind of station there that might have been put there by the Nazis and has a bunch of technology, or it could be alien. That's a possibility, or both. But there is a bunch of talk about shit going on under the snow of Antarctica, including proof that it wasn't always icy there and it used to have green a lot more recently than we know. So there's a whole lot of shit.
I'm going to go with the most plausible explanation. What
Admiral
heard
Bird. Ooh.
Yeah,
Operation Jump something, I think. Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, but I heard from what people told me, the reason very few people are allowed to go to Antarctica and all that is because it's the last place on Earth that's really been untouched by man and uninfluenced. So it's a lot of research we could do without it being interfered with by mankind there.
Of course the government would tell us that. They were trying to keep it secret before they even gave a shit about conservation.
Yeah, but I still think that's the most plausible explanation right there.
No, I think they're hiding stuff they don't want us to know about. Hell, for all we know, maybe all the continents on our map are not all that's there. Maybe there is something past the ice wall. Maybe.
The only thing I can find out, old man, what's in Antarctica is research, and they won't tell us what they're doing, and we're not allowed to go over there and look.
Yep. If our tax dollars pay for it, I feel like I should get to know about it.
Yeah. So.
High jump. I think it's Operation High Jump. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember for sure. But there's an Admiral Byrd, and he said he saw all kind like past the ice and snow. There was like big animals and green forests and all kinds of shit. And that was like in the 1940s or something, or 50s, I think. And I think it's Bird spelled with a Y instead of an I. If anybody wants to Google that, I think that's what that is. But I think it was Operation High Jump or something.
Yeah. If it's as cold as they say, they can have it.
Right.
Oh, that Bird. The average temperature in Antarctica is a Tuesday for us.
Well, like, according to what Admiral Byrd said, after you get past the ice and snow, it's a bunch of lush green area. And then I think something suspicious happened to him.
Oh, a lot of suspicious stuff happens to a lot of people.
Well, that's true.
Look at
Operation High Jump. That is, I was right. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And all that bird's laughing his ass off. It is called Operation.
How to get my little happy dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should have just Googled it, and I would have been sure I was correct.
Yeah.
My next mission would be called Operation Taco Tuesday. That sounds familiar. That actually sounds familiar.
Hey.
Is there an operation called that?
Trump. If you happen to be listening to this, when you go invade the cartels and take out the Mexican leader there, it better be called Operation Taco Tuesday. I'll expect
That would be
nothing less.
fucked up. That would be so fucked up.
Hey,
my lab does not condone invading other places, just so you know, but Operation Taco Tuesday does sound fucking hilarious, and I can't.
You know, that'd be funny if like some of these one of these Mexican restaurants and all that, they like had like a special called Operation Taco Tuesday. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
That would be so inappropriate.
Hey, my old boss Javier Erler, when I worked at the Mexican restaurant there, he would have laughed and done it. He would have done it. Gap's laughing and Burns laughing. Oh.
He's gonna call it Operation Taco Friday. He fucking would. God,
man. Yeah, this has been a wild stream today.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get on and do some politics.
Guys,
like I've just been.
You just fumbled the name of this plan. Now Trump's gonna call it Operation Taco Friday. Yeah, but we've been going for 2 hours. I'm gonna be heading up to my sister's here because I promised her Chinese. Yeah. Well, I promised her Chinese food if she cut my hair. So.
Well, that sounds good.
I haven't seen any evidence that Maduro was connected to the drugs. That part could well be both.
Yeah. See, exactly. And as a rule, I don't trust anything our government says. Because they'll make excuse to do anything they want. Because absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. But I promised her. Yeah. So, but I did promise my sister though. I do I do make my own Chinese food. It's kind of expensive to get started, but once you have the stuff, it's actually really cheap to make it. Because it's only it's a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Schlachchen wine, and a tablespoon of this, a teaspoon of this, teaspoon of that.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff you don't normally keep on hand.
I think I might actually. I have a seasoning cabinet that make every white person faint.
Yeah. So, but I think this is a good place to wrap it up. We've been going for 2.5 hours. So, Moira, what do you got going on?
I do not have much of anything going on. I've been working so much lately and being kind of just out of the rhythm of YouTube that I have 4 movies I've been meaning to show people and I haven't, and I have 10 articles I've been meaning to show people and I just haven't done it. So I don't know if I have anything going on, honestly. I think I've become so disillusioned, yelling at an old man yelling at the clouds about everything. I'm just like,
Sorry. And just
but I saw you on
Eugene Bird, you're the king. Super chats making our cigars sing. Light in the lounge, keep it free. You're the sugar daddy of the real love. Thank you, Eugene. You're the best, better than all the rest. With every puff, we raise a cheer. Eugene Bird, our hero here.
And thank you, Old Man Bird, for that super sticker. Thank you very, very much for that $9.99 super sticker. You're a very generous man. Thank you very, very much. That's going to be going towards my tequila shots in Aruba here in a couple weeks.
Oh my, fancy.
So thank you very much. So what were you saying before I interrupted you?
I don't remember anymore.
You said something about my name and something about me being live or something.
Oh yeah, I just haven't been. I just felt sort of disillusioned, so I just been kind of meh. But I saw you on in this. I'm like, I had just been seeing this shit, and I was like, Lordy, I went to sleep hearing about this, and I woke up. I'm like, you know what? I'll come bitch about this for a minute.
I woke up to this, so okay. I put on when I wake up, I put on YouTube for some background noise.
Right? Yeah.
Usually it's
I
like
was looking at
salty
TikTok
crack.
when I was going to sleep, and I saw it, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to go to sleep.
No, it's usually I listen to like Salty Cracker or something in the morning there. But then first thing that was on the top of the list was Angry Cops there with the talk about Venezuela being invaded and Maduro captured.
Ugh.
All right, but as for me, I don't think I'll be able to do the waltzes tonight. We were supposed to do it yesterday, but my aunt called. Both my aunts called and asked what I was doing. We went out to we went out to a buffet there. But tomorrow we'll have cinema. Sunday, Tuesday will be the Cigar Lounge. Thursday we should have everything back on track before I go on vacation here. The Twilight Zone, and then Friday's waltzes there, so that everyone have a. Welcome, Booger. Welcome. We're just closing up. Welcome. Hello, in the middle of a double shift at work, just catching up on the news story. Yeah, we're just closing up, but welcome, Booger. And thanks again, Old Man Bird, for the things there. Thank you, everybody, who came here. This was the biggest live stream I've had where people come on live. So that
is wild.
So thank you, everybody. And should we go out on Moira, pick? Should we go out on United We Roar or Roar Gratitude?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. The first one?